So we're going to start by talking about women's hockey because that's what we've had the
let's
most
do it.
of so far.
Mhm.
Of course, men's hockey started yesterday, and Team Canada played their first game today,
Yeah.
which we will break that game down here in a little bit. So I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts. Have you really been following along with the women's tournament so far, or just kind of Team Canada?
I've tried to like keep up obviously with like the scores, and I've kind of known like how like Canada's done obviously, and like I kind of understand maybe some of their issues,
Yeah,
which
for
I'm sure we'll
sure.
probably get to, but I haven't really been able to watch like full games, but I have
Yeah.
I have tuned in when I can.
Yeah, for sure. I think I've watched every Team Canada game except for one, maybe the second one, which was a bit
Okay.
of a blowout. Yeah. So from what you've kind of noticed from Team Canada what have you noticed about Team Canada, at
Yeah,
least with
I
our women's
think
team? Let's start with that.
I think we kind of saw maybe like one of their weaknesses exposed against that game, that US game obviously.
Yeah.
Like Canada is a really old team. Like the
Yeah.
women's team is quite old, and I think we kind of saw that uh sort of bite them in that game against US because as we know, like the US, they have way more youngsters, I
Yeah,
think.
for sure.
And I don't really know if it's from necessarily roster construction. I have a feeling like Canada has just like really enjoyed some of these vets, which is
Yeah.
fair. Obviously, like it's kind of like like we have like our Crosbys and they have like their Poulins, right?
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
it makes sense, but I do think if possible, for the next time, obviously, I think they do need to implement a bit more youth. I think that is kind of their weakness. You saw maybe it was just like sort
Yeah.
of a speed thing and maybe a little bit of a skill thing as well.
Yeah, for sure. And something else I kind of noticed as well, of course, there is the youth thing with all the speed and whatnot as
Hmm.
well. Like kind of what you mentioned, we have, our men's team has the Crosby, and whatnot, but they don't have their version of our Celebrini
It
in a
is, yeah,
way.
it is true.
So that's what I've kind of really noticed is it's kind of a lot of the vets, the proven stars and whatnot, but we haven't really heard a ton about the younger generation, I would say. Like kind of this, maybe not this year's World Juniors, but the past couple years, Women's World Juniors, and though like those kind of players from those
Yeah,
tournaments. So I think that is something that I would definitely like to see for our
yeah,
women's team at least going into, you know, the next Olympics in 4 years, which of course the whole aspect of Team
yeah.
Canada I think will be a lot different, but also just in general for like the World Championship tournaments and whatnot and that kind of stuff too.
It could also be like you said, like they don't have like a Celebrini, for example.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if, and again, like I don't know a lot about like the women's like side of development, but is there a bit of a development issue on Canada's part?
Yeah, I mean,
Which would be weird because like they've developed a lot of like obviously like men,
yeah.
like we've got the Bedars, the Celebrinis, all those guys, the
Yeah, I'm not
Schaefers.
sure to be completely honest. I don't know a ton about the whole development
Yeah,
portion of women's hockey in Canada at least. I know that there's a lot of really talented women coming from Europe right now to play in like the PWHL and
yeah, I
whatnot,
have heard that too.
especially younger players too, like just in this past two drafts or something like
Yeah,
that as
yeah,
well, especially I've noticed. And then they're kind of just taking their Canadian vets and kind of steering clear from the rest of them, from what I've noticed at
yeah,
least. So I think it will be really interesting to see the next couple of years. I mean, I honestly don't know. I mean,
yeah,
it's not talked about nearly as much as it should be, in my opinion.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know because we just don't hear about it like we do with men's
Yeah,
hockey.
I'd be surprised though. Like, I wonder too if it's with the women's too, because obviously I don't know how many women play, like Canadian women play in the NCAA, but I
Yeah.
do know like obviously all American women, unless
Hmm.
like before the PWHL, they were playing like college when they
Yeah,
could,
for
when playing
sure.
in the NCAA, which is like really high level, probably
Hmm.
for like probably the highest level you can get for women between the ages of like what you're eligible, like 18 to
Yeah,
25 or
18 to
something like that.
25
So they
probably.
obviously had that, and like I don't know if there's many Canadian women going over there, so maybe that is
Yeah.
kind of something too.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that is definitely something to look at as well as potentially, what do, of course, I mean, are, looking at like U Sports and whatnot. It's not to the same pedigree that the
Hmm.
NCAA is,
It's
of
still
course,
good,
but
obviously,
But
but
yeah, like it's still quite good. Like we have a whole bunch of really, really talented
yeah,
women on our hockey team as well. That I feel, of course they're not on to the level of Sarah Nurse or
hmm,
whoever, but they're still quite talented. So I feel like I would just feel like I would like to know a little bit more on that side of why we haven't taken more younger players.
exactly, yeah.
Because yeah, I think
That was just my main takeaway I'd say from the women so far was that.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, as the whole team or the whole roster construction as well, that would be my thing as well. Is another thing I do want to point out as well, though, that I've just kind of noticed, is our power play needs work.
Mm.
Like, it's a solid, like, you got a whole bunch of really solid players out there. It's just really not
It's
clicking.
not clicking, eh?
So, and I mean, of course I'm saying that because I had said that right away from game one. Then, of course, we scored 3 power play goals. But we also had about 8 or 9 power plays in that game.
Yeah.
So, I think...
Do you know what they're clicking at right now, percentage-wise?
I don't know. I'm guessing probably low 20s would be my
Yeah.
guess. Maybe even lower than
Yeah.
that potentially. So I really don't know what what needs to happen with that to kind of fix that and solve that issue. But I feel like that's something they really need to hone in on kind of going forward as well. And they also got to figure out their goalie as well,
Yes.
because they have 2 really, really solid goalies. Of course, Mashmeyer's the name that stands out to me, of course, Vancouver Golden Knights
Yeah.
goalie. So that is the name that stands out for me. And she got the start in game 1. I thought she was quite solid. She got the shutout, and then she hasn't played since.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what their plan is there. Apparently, the other goalie is quite solid as well, another starting goalie in the PWHL too. So, maybe I just haven't watched enough of that. I think she plays for Ottawa maybe. So maybe I just haven't watched enough of that, or maybe there's just something that I'm missing overall there. But I just feel like Mashmeyer is just kind of the pick that I would, the guaranteed pick that I would take just for safety, at least, if I'm that head coach. But I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think the power play is the one thing that
Yeah, in
really
tournaments
needs
like
work.
this, you kind of need power plays going at like legitimately 30%.
Yeah,
40%.
for sure.
Even though it sounds absurd, it's like that's
yeah.
kind of what gets it done, right? Is like power play, or not just power plays, but special teams in general in tournaments like this.
Yeah, and I think, especially like tournaments like this as well. Of course, you're not going to generally see that in like the NHL or PWHL. But in tournaments like this where you are like kind of a certified favorite no matter what going into it, like Team Canada generally is with hockey,
Yeah,
your power play's got to click in case you're struggling somewhere else.
exactly.
So we kind of just need that powerhouse of a power play to just kind of click and figure it out. And then, of course, the other big news with Team Canada as well is Marie-Philippe Poulin was injured.
Yeah.
So she didn't play in game 3 or 4, unfortunately. Yeah. She did skate before game 4.
What
though,
was
but
the
she wasn't
injury
quite enough.
again?
I'm not sure because that was in the
Yeah.
game that I didn't see. It was in game 2 when she went down, I believe. So I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it's not bad enough that it's going to keep her out. So she will be back for the next game is what I've heard.
That's good.
So yeah, that is really, really
That's
good to
huge.
hear
Yeah.
since, she's essentially Captain Canada.
Yeah.
So, she's a player that we need, and not, of course, hockey's not a, one-person sport or anything like that, but you still need your leaders to kind of come up. And, of course, Sarah Nurse, she's been injured all year. She's played maybe 1 or 2 games for the Golden Knights, and so you just really don't know, like, for someone, if you got kind of your 2 big stars, one of them gets injured, the other one's been injured all year, has only played a couple games,
Yeah.
you're going to struggle, I think.
Oh, yeah,
So,
for sure.
and I think that was one of the issues maybe with the game against the States as well, is we didn't really have a leader going into it.
Yeah,
So,
I can see what you mean.
yeah, but I mean, kind of also talking about that game as well, from what I've really noticed and seen, at least in this tournament, is this U.S. women's team is probably the best U.S. women's team they have ever had. I would say.
Definitely.
Like,
100%. Yeah.
This team looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah, no, they're I don't they you're just seeing even with like the men's US team too, like they've just like developed really well. Like they've been on like a nice trajectory. And obviously they've always been like a favorite, like men's and women's when it comes to
for
hockey,
sure.
right? Like up there with Canada. But like
Yeah.
they are closing the skill gap and it's getting scary.
Yeah, no, for
It's
sure.
freaky.
Because, of course, our women's team has been, if you're going to rely on, our men's or women's hockey team to go out and beat the States, it generally has been the women's team who will go out and give you a higher % chance in, the past 10 years or so. But now that the States has just brought this powerhouse of a team, like I just really don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's scary. Well,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe we'll have our comeback game like we did in Four Nations in the final.
That's true.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see. I think there's quite a few teams where quite a few things could happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think the women's side will be super, super tight this year.
Yes.
'Cause
100%.
Of
Which
course.
makes it exciting though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah, for sure.
more parity.
Yeah, 100%. Alrighty. I think we are going to take our first little break here. So I
Yeah.
didn't mention it earlier, but we are kind of guessing that this show is going to be slightly shorter
Yeah,
than
I'm
usual,
assuming
just because.
there hasn't been anything like since the
Yeah, there hasn't been any
roster
major
freeze.
news or anything,
So
which was expected as well.
yeah.
And I mean, it's only been a week of the Olympics as well, so it's not a ton that we need
Mhm.
to really break down. And of course, the men's had
Men's
just
just
started
started,
yesterday
yeah.
and today, so I think we don't have a ton to talk about right now. As I've just watched, I think the U.S. just got a goal waved off here, but
Oh, did
maybe
they?
I'm not sure. But yeah, so there's not as much to talk about. So essentially, we're breaking the show up into 3 different segments. So we're doing the first week of women's hockey, which was this segment. We're gonna do a song. Next segment will be men's hockey and kind of expectations. We're going to break down the Team Canada game that was earlier today. We're going to talk about the States. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of different things as well. We're going to do another music spotlight, and then we are going to go into our extremely early playoff brackets.
Which should be fun.
Yeah, no, that'll be a lot of
Really
fun.
cool.
I'm really looking forward to see what you got here because
Yeah.
I've definitely gone out on a limb on a couple of them. I think,
Yeah.
and that's kind of something we've done
Yeah.
all year. So anyway, so for the music spotlight today, for today's show, I really wanted to dedicate our music spotlight segments to Brad Arnold of the band Three Doors Down. This is a band that I've listened to a lot growing up, and they're still one of my favorite bands to this day. And unfortunately, Brad passed away earlier this week due to cancer. So these songs are for him. It's Here Without You by Three Doors Down right here on CMRU.ca.
You're listening to CMRU.ca by students for you.
Alrighty, we are back, and like we said earlier, it is now time to talk about men's hockey, which of course started yesterday. We had 2 games yesterday. I believe it was Slovakia versus Finland, which was another upset, and then Sweden versus Italy, which we're going to break down a little bit, because this morning we had Team Canada's first game as well, and that was an awesome
Should we
game
talk
to
about
watch.
that one first?
Yeah, let's break that one down here. So the final score was 5-0 Canada against Czechia, which we've talked about for a while. I didn't think that was going to happen, but it feels absolutely amazing.
Oh, I know.
Just with how much Czechia has just beat us up over the last couple years in World Juniors.
Yeah, with World Juniors, right? So it's like it's nice for like the big boys to get it done. Get
Yeah,
some revenge
exactly.
for us,
And just absolutely crushed them.
Yeah.
It felt so nice to watch that. But I'm not going to lie, I wasn't sold we were going to win that in the first half.
I mean, it was close, right? Like
Yeah,
it was actually like to start. Like I thought Czechia, like they reminded me a lot of their junior team where it was like hard forecheck. Like they're in on us, they're getting some shots. Like the shots were pretty even for most of the game, right? And like I thought they played really well in that first. Like they came out high energy and like they knew they had to against Canada.
Yeah.
And not that Canada like couldn't handle it, but like it was a lot, right? And then we didn't get that goal from Celebrini until like 5 seconds left.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I think that kind of maybe opened the floodgates a little bit, and then we kind of saw quite a bit more dominance from Canada in the second and the third, and I just think Czechia was kind of worn out from that first because they did have a really good first.
Yeah, no, they had a really, really solid first, and they played quite well overall. And I mean, of course, we got to see our power play and PK go right away. And I'm just going to pull up the lines here because I texted them to you.
And
like
now
I can't
the
remember.
special team line?
Yeah.
Yes.
So here, I'll just pull it up because I posted, I think, on the LeagueWatch story, at least our power play. So power play 1, we weren't actually miles off here, and I was a little bit surprised to see this one, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
It was Reinhart, Crosby, McDavid, McKinnon, Makar. So generally pretty standard minus Reinhart, I would say.
Like I was talking to my buddy about this, and he made a good point because the reason that they didn't have Celebrini on that top unit is because Celebrini's also a flank.
True, that's a good point.
And McKinnon and McDavid are both flanks, and then Reinhardt's sort of like the net front, so it made sense.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it too, but still a little bit interesting that Reinhart will be the one to get the nod.
I think
there.
it usually would have been points.
Yeah,
but because he's injured, obviously.
Yeah, true.
Reinhardt's like the next guy up, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then power play 2 was Marner, Horvat, Celebrini, Stone.
I found that interesting.
And
that
then
they had
Theodore.
Horvat.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised, but now that I think about it, it's probably just for the faceoffs.
That's
be my
true.
best guess.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Why do I feel like they could have maybe had some other guys on that unit?
I feel like Suzuki might be a solid
what I mean.
shout
Canada
for that.
would have been.
yeah, I think there's definitely some guys, even, like a Brad Marchand potentially could fit on that line.
Yeah, I thought a Marchand or I guess that does kind of make sense because
Yeah.
you do have like the top unit is like essentially stacked with like all your best players,
Yeah,
so it
for
makes
sure.
sense. And then Theodore, was Theodore always quarterbacking? I thought Morrissey might have been a quarterback.
He was, from what I saw, at least on the PK.
Okay.
Morrissey might have popped out, but I didn't see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and did you see that Morrissey injury?
I didn't see that actually. I was actually going. I had to run to Walmart quickly.
Yeah,
this
I
morning.
didn't see it either, but like
Apparently,
what I
well,
heard,
it was bad enough to keep him out of the game.
yeah, but
so-
I heard that it wasn't like something noticeable. Like how like a guy
No.
will usually get hit and you're like,
He goes down or whatever.
Yeah.
He's holding his leg or his wrist or
but
whatever.
apparently he kind of just left the ice and left the game. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't know if that's maybe a good sign because
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't as bad as we're expecting. But I don't know.
Yeah, he might have just been held out, honestly, after we scored, the second and third goals potentially as well, just precautionary, just because we
Yeah.
didn't necessarily need him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is definitely something to worry about potentially. I
Yeah.
would say,
Especially with that stuff where we can't bring another player now, right?
Well, I think we could have, but we didn't.
Yeah.
We chose not to. So
Which might have been a mistake.
yeah, at this point, I don't know. So that'll be one to watch. I think he will be back for the next game, though, judging on the fact that from what I've heard and what at least Team Canada has said, that it's not serious.
Yeah,
Is
that's
the
what
good
I've heard.
news.
So
So
hopefully we'll see. I think they play tomorrow, I believe.
yeah, they play tomorrow at 1, I believe.
So
our time.
potentially, maybe not that game, but maybe the game after or something.
Yeah. So I mean, who do we have tomorrow? Do we have Switzerland tomorrow?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
okay.
Switzerland.
So I mean, that's not as big of a game
Mhm.
then necessarily as Czechia. So that'll be fine. I'm sure it
Yeah.
won't be the end of the world if he sits that one out just in case.
Yeah.
And then we brought 8 D-man for a reason, so we
Yeah.
just chucked Doughty in there or whatever for a game. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I think
Kinda
another
want to-
thing.
I kind of want to ask you about the goaltending, because this is kind of a
Yeah.
big story going in.
Yeah,
Like,
I know, and
we're
it's
obviously-
something.
like
It's something we talked about too,
Yeah.
quite a bit. And we were kind of ripping into Bennington,
oh, we
honestly,
were,
especially into the
we
last
were.
show, just saying he didn't really come through until it matters. I'll give him that. He
Yeah.
came through when it matters at Four Nations, but other than that, he was terrible.
And he wasn't even the starter on his NHL team this year.
I know
And
he's
he made
not
the
been good this
Olympic-
year too.
Like it didn't make sense, and we're like, "Are you kidding me?" But I
Yeah,
don't know,
we
man.
were a little bit shocked this morning to wake up and
Yeah.
see that Bennington was starting. But he stepped up and he absolutely
Like
killed
he
it.
looked confident. Like
he looked
great.
so good
Like there's something about this guy when he's like in the Canadian jersey. Like he's just
on another level.
yeah, he just like completely changes person. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
I
for
don't know.
sure. And I think that he won't be starting tomorrow. I think it will be Thompson
I
starting
think that's
tomorrow.
smart too. You gotta
Yeah,
give some other
just-
guys some looks just in case, right?
Well, yeah, because there's no reason to put Benner back out there again tomorrow. Like it's
Yeah.
not like it's an absolutely huge game, and even if it was a huge game, that's why we have two, pretty solid goalies.
Yeah.
Thompson was, in the conversation for the Vezina last year, so
yeah,
and he's been decently solid this year too.
Yeah.
Whereas Bennington's just been absolutely horrible this
yeah.
year. So, yeah, I don't know. I think.
It's gonna be interesting. Did you see too Cooper? I don't remember when the interview happened, but someone asked him like, "When did you decide like who the starter was gonna be?" And
Yeah.
he said like 368 days ago or whatever. Cause
Well,
that's
yeah,
like,
I saw the story. Him
Yeah.
and Benner met when St. Louis was in Tampa, in
Okay.
the last season after Four Nations
oh,
at a
did they?
hotel, and that's when he said you're going to be the starter.
Oh,
apparently,
really?
so that's at least what I've heard. So
Yes. So apparently, like John Cooper didn't even like he didn't even bat an eye at
yeah,
Bennington's like NHL star. Like he's like, oh,
Yeah.
whatever. Like maybe Bennington just felt like he didn't have anything to play for. Like I don't know.
yeah. I mean, you're playing in St. Louis. There's not a ton there.
Yeah,
Sorry, Liam, but
exactly.
there's not a ton.
No, there's not a ton going on. He
No.
just maybe wants McKenna. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, you never know. I think one of the players that kind of really stood out for me in this game, other than Bennington,
yeah, I
I'll
was gonna
say,
ask
'cause,
what your standout.
I mean, I really hate to say it because I really hate Vegas, but Mark Stone, he was
Yeah.
solid.
Oh yeah,
That line was going all night.
that's a great line too because obviously they can score like Crosby, Marner, like all
Yeah.
those guys can score, but like they're all such good two-way players.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
Marner and Stone might be the two best like
Yeah.
two-way wingers in the league, and then Crosby's obviously a great two-way.
Well, yeah, and then did you see the Stone goal? The Marner feed. That was ridiculous.
That was gross. Yeah.
That was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And
they have like the Knights Chemi probably too for playing in the Vegas together,
exactly.
So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I didn't even think about that. I still think of Marner in Toronto.
So do I. I always have to clue in, and I'm like, oh yeah, that actually makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that kind of makes sense. I didn't even think about that when I was putting together my predicted line combinations and whatnot. But yeah, no, that was absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh, Latvia just scored. They just tied it.
Oh, nice. So it's 1-1.
It's 1-1. The Hughes goal got taken off.
Jack Hughes?
Quinn.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say no way, Jack. We're probably gonna get to that soon.
We will.
But I think my standout though from this game, I want to say Celebrini.
Yeah.
Just because he's literally like a 19-year-old kid, and he scores the first goal for Canada.
Yeah.
And I thought he looked great. Like it wasn't like he was shying away from anything or anything.
No,
like, he got his chances.
jumped straight in.
Like you could tell he's confident in his ability. And that wasn't something I was I wasn't necessarily worried that like, oh, I don't know if he's gonna do good, but like, it is nice to just see him like, just go out there and be himself, and like he knows he belongs there, which is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think the one thing going into this tournament, I think for me with Celebrini was if the confidence was gonna be there, just because, he's going in there and playing, with guys Crosby, McDavid, McKinnon, some of the best players in the league right now, if not the best like some of the best to ever play the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with Crosby and, absolute Canadian legends too. So you're kind of going into that and, I just didn't know how he would deal with that pressure and kind of, the high standards that Team Canada has.
Yeah.
And he's just gone in there and absolutely killed it, I think.
And I love how John Cooper too has just deployed him like so well.
Yes, he
like,
played him so well.
Imagine if Ryan Huska was the coaches.
Oh jeez, he wouldn't touch the ice. He'd be scratched every single game.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was overall pretty happy with how everyone was deployed, I would say, in this game.
Yeah, no, everyone got their minutes. Like, I just had the minutes up here. I might have lost it now. Oh, shoot.
But I mean, like even Doughty was getting minutes. Like he was on the PK, and Theodore was getting solid minutes, and there's just a whole bunch of guys that were getting these really, really solid minutes. And I just felt like it's not like you're going to go into this and say, oh yeah, everyone's going to get equal ice time, because that's not true when you have McDavid and McKinnon on separate lines. Like that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So kind of going into it and kind of, thinking, of course, you're going to see a lot of McDavid, you're going to see a lot of, Crosby, of course, you're going to see a lot of McKinnon. And we did, I'll say that, but not nearly as much as I expected. And, those other lines like Stone's line and whatnot, they really just picked up the slack.
Exactly, yeah.
So I would say they played, like, the chemistry really seems to be there with those lines that don't have the big stars on
exactly
them. I'll say that. And even like that Crosby line as well looked really, really solid. So I think that will be something I just have such a good feeling about this team.
Oh, I know, right? Like it's just especially after such a dominant win over Czechia.
Yeah.
They're a respectable team too. Like it's
not
like we did that against like France or anything. Like, it was a good team. So
yeah.
It's looking good. Like what you're saying too about Doughty's ice time. Like he played 19 minutes tonight.
Really?
Which was he played more than Makar by a couple seconds.
That's insane.
Yeah, but then like the ice time was spread out quite evenly, especially throughout all the defensemen. Obviously, Morrissey only had 7 minutes because he was injured.
Yeah.
But like Celebrini, like that top line, they all had around like 17. Like everyone basically had 17. The fourth line, only had like 10.
Yeah.
But still, like the top 9 all played pretty evenly.
Yeah, which is, I think, really good to see because it's going to keep our top guys fresh.
Oh,
too.
Exactly.
Like I don't think we're going to.
with Canada.
Yeah, like we've really spread it out quite well, I think. Looking at our lines and seeing someone like McKinnon on third line generally isn't the nicest thing to look at.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, if it works and they're getting pretty equal ice time, I would say it works. Like, I'm not going to question it. So, yeah, I think that's definitely something that the whole coaching staff has done really, really well.
Cooper's a great coach.
He is.
I'll just trust him with what he wants to do. If he wants to play Bennington, go for it. I'm not going to question it.
Yeah, and I think something that we were talking about going into this, with Bennington is, if you start him and he starts to struggle, you got to pull him right away.
Yeah.
Because we cannot let it get bad in this tournament. 'Cause as soon as it gets bad, we're going straight down.
Yeah.
So that's kind of another thing as well. And, we'll see how Thompson does tomorrow. I'm, assuming he is starting. So that will be something to watch, I think.
Actually, I don't want to jinx it. Never mind. I won't say what I was going to say.
Yeah, so is there anyone that you kind of saw out there, at least in the Canada game, that you were kind of like they could have stepped it up a little bit more?
I guess like maybe I didn't notice like Reinhardt a lot, but I
Yeah.
think that's just like his deployment. Like he's just playing on the fourth line.
Yeah, and I mean he's a
So,
quiet player overall. Like
that's
he's
what I
not really
mean.
right there in the action.
Yeah,
unless
he's
there's a
usually the
fight.
type of guy where he scores, he kind of sneaks into areas.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I mean he's getting top power play. He just he'll get his looks, but I think like
Yeah.
he just looked a bit quieter, especially for being like one of the bigger guys. Like I kind of like Marchand. I feel like you always notice with his physical ability.
No.
Same
Yeah.
with Bennett, and then Horvat, who was the other guy that was kind of playing lower minutes. He scored a
Yeah.
goal, so he was pretty
Yeah.
noticeable, and his goal was nice too, like right
Yeah.
up the middle.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would think for me it would probably have to be McKinnon, honestly, from the first half that I
that's
saw,
fair,
because I honestly missed most of the second half of the game when I was gone. But I would just say, like, he just didn't seem to do a ton, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
And, it could just be, game one and,
I definitely
you see all these other guys shining and whatnot. And, McDavid, and, Makar was good and Celebrini was good. And there just wasn't a ton of light on McKinnon, really, in this game. So maybe that was just that. Maybe he just had a quiet night, he'll bounce back tomorrow and score a goal or two or get a couple points or whatever. But I just felt like he was a guy that was pretty quiet overall.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
I would be interested too. Like, I don't know if I'd love McKinnon's wingers, like, a lot. Not that they're bad.
Yeah.
Like, he's got Hagel and Suzuki.
Yeah.
I guess I don't really know who you could. I was just maybe thinking, like, you move Hagel for someone, but I don't know. You
for
don't
sure.
really want to mess with the other two lines because they're
No.
working pretty well.
Yeah, no, those worked really, really well. So, yeah.
We'll just
I
have to
think-
let them figure it out.
Yeah, and I'm sure, I'm sure they'll try something else tomorrow with probably the bottom six, most
Yeah.
likely, I would guess, just because they can. And probably move maybe McKinnon around a little bit potentially. Maybe I wouldn't mind seeing him on that Crosby line potentially as a winger.
I wouldn't
Um,
either, like, honestly.
but-
I think right now, like, spread out the wealth, but
Yeah,
if
for
there's
sure.
if there's a point in time in a game, like, I wouldn't hate the idea of moving McKinnon up and moving Marner down and
Yeah.
sliding Suzuki to the center on that, and then your third line is Hagel, Suzuki, Marner.
Yeah, no, and that's still like a really, really solid line
It
too.
is,
And
yeah.
kind of talking about McKinnon and Crosby. Like these guys are pretty good friends overall. They're
That's
both
what I mean,
Nova
yeah.
Scotia boys, and of course they didn't grow up playing together because Crosby's quite a bit older
Yeah.
than McKinnon, but. They get along quite well. They're good friends off the ice. They've done a whole bunch of other like kind of side work commercials and stuff for like Tim's, for
Yeah.
example. You see them almost every single year in something together. So I just feel like their chemistry will be quite solid.
I feel like they did play together too at the Four Nations.
did.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
They did, and they did on the power play as well, of course, and they are on this power play as well too. And
Yeah.
they were really, really solid. So
Yeah.
that would be something that I would like them to test out potentially, whether it's in practice or in a game tomorrow or whatever. But it's something I really wouldn't hate to see.
Yeah.
So kind of moving on a little bit to the Italy-Sweden game,
That was
which
an
we mentioned
interesting
earlier.
game.
That was because Italy came out guns a-blazing.
I wish I could have watched more of it because I was only able to watch, I think, like maybe the first half of
Yeah,
it. But when I
same.
first turned it on, it was already 1-0 Italy, and I'm like, what the heck? Like,
Yeah, they scored almost right away
Yeah.
and just absolutely silenced Sweden, this powerhouse of a team. And I mean, that first goal I would say was definitely on Gustafsson. That was not a good goal to
even
let
the
up.
second goal.
Yeah, no, both were not great to let up, but they just came out there and
Props to Italy though.
yeah,
like,
no, they played defense really well. Their goalie Damian Clara was really, really, really solid until he
Yeah.
got injured. Like he had 46 saves in the
Yeah.
game. Like
that's nuts.
it's wild. And then he got injured with 13 minutes left in the
Yeah.
third period. Like if you're making 46 saves and only letting 3 goals, like that is
That's
really,
huge.
really
That's
solid.
huge. That's
Yeah.
crazy for like the Ducks, man.
Yeah.
because he's a Ducks prospect.
He
For
is.
people that don't know, so like, I mean, thinking they got Dostal and then they have
Yeah.
this guy potentially backing him up in the future.
Oh
like
man, that could be a lethal
it,
duo.
it could be, yeah, really
Yeah.
could.
And of course, Dostal is who we beat today, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, for Czechia. So
And I mean, I don't even think like he played bad.
he really
necessarily.
didn't. No, his defense was just not there.
Yeah,
though.
it's just you're playing Canada.
Yeah,
Like,
there's only so much you can do.
exactly.
And Yeah, I mean, he has been probably one of the best goalies. Like they showed, he's like 8-1 in his last 9 games or whatever,
Mhm.
and he hasn't let up more than like 3 goals a game.
Yeah,
So
that's nice.
he's been really, really solid this season. I think he's taken a big step up in the NHL. So I think Anaheim definitely is quite. They're going to be quite happy with their goalie tandem. In the future,
for sure. Yeah, they're kind of set in that position. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And of course, Sweden did set an Olympic record in the NHL era with 60 shots in regulation.
Wow,
That's wild.
that is insane.
That is absolutely
yeah.
wild.
And I mean, yeah, and they only scored what 5?
they only
goals?
scored 5. Yeah,
which is crazy.
and 2 of which were after
on
Clara
Italy
got pulled.
too.
So that is that's absolutely insane to me. So I mean, props to Italy. I mean, they're coming into this tournament as heavy
Yeah.
underdogs. Of course, the only reason they're really necessarily in the tournament is because they are hosting.
Exactly.
But I think it's a lot of fun to come out and see a smaller home country.
Oh, it is. Right? Like
come
they
out
have
and
passion. Like you
they
saw,
do.
they're physical.
Oh yeah,
Like-
no, they're a heavy hitting team.
Like from what I was watching, like you would see them like trying to crush like the Swedes out of the
Yeah.
crease and stuff. Like they weren't
not
like
backing
shying
down.
away. Or there's a one player, I don't remember who it was, but he was kind of in like a little bit of a match with Anderson, like Rasmus
Yeah.
Anderson. Every time they get on the ice, they're kind of
Yeah.
hitting each other.
yeah,
So it was actually quite an interesting game for what I saw. I wish I could watch more, but
yeah, for
unfortunately,
sure.
that's what happens when it's on your time zone.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
gotta go to school. So.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of moving on now to we'll talk about the Slovakia game after this, but I just wanted to talk about the stakes game briefly, just
Yeah, what's
because
going
that
on
is
with
going
it?
on right now.
'Cause I have no idea what's going on.
Brock Nelson just made it 2-1 for the States,
Okay.
unfortunately, and of course we were kind of ripping into Nelson earlier
Were
as
we?
well. Oh, maybe no, that was before I came here, but me and my roommates were kind of ripping into him, saying why did they take Brock Nelson over Cole Caulfield?
It is a valid point,
But
though.
now, of course, he's just. I mean, to be fair, the shot went off of his leg and in.
Yeah.
So
What are the shots right now?
11-6 for the States.
I
So
mean, yeah.
Latvia's holding their own right
Yeah.
now. I mean, as like 6 shots is better than what a lot of teams are doing against the
Yeah.
States right now. So I think they could potentially be reviewing this. Of course, the Hughes goal already got taken off for the States. They might be challenging it again. They already won a challenge, so we'll see.
There you go.
I'm not sure what they're challenging for. I can't hear anything. I don't have my AirPods in or anything. But
Who scored? You said Brady Kachuk.
Brady
too?
scored the first one,
Okay.
of course.
I'm sure he was fired up. Had quite the
Oh yeah,
celly.
for sure. He nearly
Yeah.
got punched in the face by his brother, I think,
Uh.
while celebrating. But goalie interference, I think, is what they're looking at from Miller. No,
How's it looking? No.
I don't think it is. To be
No?
completely honest, I mean, international rules are more strict.
I'm always so lost with international rules.
Oh,
Like,
I don't
we
know.
saw it in
I
the World
struggle with
Juniors
it.
this year.
Yeah, for sure,
Like-
and especially I found that is something I do want to talk about maybe a little bit at the end of this segment as well. Is kind of the difference and the main differences that we've spotted, but.
Mhm.
For me, like in the NHL, this wouldn't be goalie interference, and like he did make slight contact, but it was probably about 3 or 4 seconds before
Okay.
the shot got to him.
Yeah.
But he was still in the crease. So I don't know. I don't know in international if you're in the crease, it doesn't count, no matter if you're making
Yeah.
contact or what. So I don't know. So we'll see. But I mean, Latvia's been holding their own. They got Merzlikins in net, so they don't have a bad goalie at all.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Looking at this, Miller was in his face quite a bit before the shot went off, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Hopefully
Latvia pulls off an upset, but
Yeah, I did want to kind of talk to you though on what your thoughts were on the States lines for this game because
yes,
it is
yes.
interesting.
Yeah.
So just to review them, their top line is kind of almost what you expect: Brady Kachuk, Jack Eichel, and Matthew Kachuk.
They played together at Four Nations and were dogs. So it
Yeah,
makes
they were
sense.
absolutely phenomenal. So that's not a huge shock there.
Yeah.
The second line is Gensel, Matthews, Boldy.
Which is solid. I mean,
Solid. I think interesting overall. Like you don't generally see, on a U.S. team. I wouldn't expect Gensel to be on the second line. To be completely honest,
yeah, like
even Boldy. Like
I know we're gonna get to him in a second here, Hughes, but
yeah,
if you want him, obviously, yeah, maybe like he's kind of brittle and he hasn't been playing the best this
yeah.
year. But if you want the most out of him, you can't be playing him on the fourth line.
No,
He
for
needs to
sure.
be in the top 6. So what I would have done is probably move, like you could put Gensel on the fourth line, and I think Gensel's effective there.
Yeah,
You do Hughes, Matthews, Boldy
yeah,
as your
definitely.
second line instead. But
Yeah, no, I would agree. Oh, they just waved off that goal.
really,
Yeah, I did not think that was goalie interference. But
So
maybe
it's-
if you're just in the crease,
yeah,
or like if you made contact within a couple seconds of the shot going
that's
off. I'm not sure.
interesting.
But for me, that was a good goal. But So yeah, their third line is Connor, Larkin, Thompson, which
I
is solid.
I really like
Yeah.
that line. That's awesome.
Yeah, same. I really like that one. And then, of course, Miller, Nelson, Hughes. So Miller and Nelson, of course, the two that I would not have taken. I would have taken Robertson and Caulfield
Shouldn't
if
even
I
be
were
on the
them.
team, but yeah.
Just because, well, Nelson, I mean, he was solid a couple of years back, but realistically, he's not doing much anymore. And Miller is just a locker room cancer. Like,
Yeah,
that's-
exactly. I don't know why the U.S. even thought.
yeah, no, because it's been proven over and over again. It's something we've talked about quite a bit in
Yeah.
the first semester and whatnot. So, yeah, I just don't understand that choice when you got other guys there.
I just don't know what they're expecting out of that fourth line.
I
Like,
don't either.
They just I don't know what they're like. You can obviously tell with okay, the top two lines are meant to score, obviously.
Yeah.
And that Connor, Larkin, Thompson obviously score too, but then Larkin is a really good two-way center, and you got some speed and size on there,
for
so
sure.
they can potentially kind of shut down. Not necessarily because I don't know if Kyle Connor's really a shutdown guy,
Yeah.
but it's kind of a hybrid line. And then that
Yeah.
fourth line is just okay, Miller, Nelson, and then Jack Hughes.
It kind of just feels like it's a line with extra players.
That's what I
in a
mean.
way.
Like they're just thrown together. Like there's no really steam
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, so I mean, another thing you could potentially do with that line is they have Trocheck scratched, or as the extra forward, you
Yeah.
could chuck him up there with Miller just for the Rangers chem potentially, but even then, there's three guys on that team that I personally would not have considered where the States did, even just for the team in
Yeah.
general. Especially when you got, Caulfield and Robertson sitting on the sideline now.
Like Robertson, is he not leading the NHL in goals?
He might be.
I'm
I'm not sure, to be completely
I'm
honest.
pretty sure Robertson is leading the NHL in goals, and the U.S. said, "Yeah, we don't need him."
Goals is led by McKinnon.
Okay.
McKinnon, McDavid, Kaprizov, Robinson tied third with Kaprizov on 32.
Okay, so he's tied third. Oh, there you go.
Jeez, McKinnon has 40 goals. That's wild.
Yeah, that guy. That guy's.
That's absolutely wild.
The past few years, I've been saying it. I feel like he could be. He's been a bit more dominant than McDavid. I'll just say that.
Yeah, no, I'm
regular
going to say
season.
that as well. He's been a better player than Connor McDavid.
In the regular season, he definitely has been.
Yeah, for sure. Which could be a hot take and totally not biased whatsoever as Flames
But,
fans. But even
I
still.
McDavid's been really good this year for sure.
Yeah.
But you just see the way that McKinnon will just overpower a game.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean? It's almost more scary.
Yeah, no, for sure. He doesn't really seem to have a ton of really quiet games. He's always there, whether he's on the score sheet or not. He's always
That's what
there.
I mean.
Yeah.
And he's physical. McDavid isn't really much of a physical guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, we saw him today.
Yeah, I was
going to
say he absolutely laid someone out this morning. But once again, so did McKinnon though.
Exactly, and that's kind of part of McKinnon's game. He's a strong guy, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that'll be interesting to see how all that goes as well. But I think looking at their defense, this is where the States will be really, really solid, I think. And line 1, Hughes McAvoy.
Mm-hmm.
Line 2, Slavin Faber. Line 3, Werenski Sanderson.
Yeah.
And then Hanifin is your extra.
What I didn't understand right off the bat is why are Hughes and Faber broken up? Because they play together in Minnesota.
Yeah, no, that's a really good
I didn't
point.
know. I didn't know why they did that.
Yeah, I don't know either, to be completely honest with you. I mean, Hughes and McAvoy have played together before in international tournaments and have been
And it's
really,
still
really
a good
solid.
pair, yeah. It's
Yeah,
still
no,
good.
it's probably one of the best defensive pairs you could pull in the league,
Yeah.
most likely, other than putting Hughes and McCarr together potentially. But as an all-round defensive pairing, I would say it's probably one of the best ones you could pull.
Yeah, it's just I thought about that because Canada just puts Taves and McCarr together just because they have
just
the
instantly,
chemistry, just immediately. So I didn't know why they didn't even at least try it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just because Hughes has only been there for 2 months,
Maybe,
really.
yeah.
So that could be some of the reasoning. At the next Olympics, if he's still with Minnesota and still playing with Faber, then
Yeah,
that would make sense. Whereas if you look at McCarr and Taves, they've been playing together for many years now. Pretty much McCarr's whole career has been side by side with them. So I think it will be I think that'll be one to watch. I could see that switch potentially coming too.
I just think if you did Hughes Faber as your top pair or whatever,
Yeah.
right? That's just kind of your Taves McCarr, it's gonna work. Hughes is amazing, and then Faber's kind of more the shutdown guy, and then if you had Slavin and McAvoy, that's an elite shutdown pair.
Yeah.
That's two elite shutdown guys, and then you can keep your third pair the same with Werenski and Sanderson, because those guys are kind of your hybrid line, I guess. Like Werenski's obviously quite the points guy, but then Sanderson's quite two-way. So I don't know. I just thought that one switch could have been kind of interesting for them, but
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's something that definitely could happen as well. Another thing, if that switch were to happen, I would say I wouldn't be against them playing Werenski and McAvoy together as well.
oh yeah,
I feel like
me
that would
too.
just be a
That
high level
could be awesome.
second line points, just
Yeah.
line in general. I feel like it could be really solid.
Like if you did Hughes Faber and then Werenski McAvoy and then Slavin Sanderson, like Slavin Sanderson.
Slavin Sanderson is a deadly duo.
That could be extremely, because we all know like what Slavin is. We saw him at Four Nations last year, like shutting down Canada. Like this guy to stick on everything, and then Sanderson's kind of becoming a little bit of a Slavin, maybe with a bit more offensive upside.
Exactly.
Though.
And he's had a phenomenal year too.
He has.
Like he's really taken a big step. He's gotten his name really noticed this year for sure.
What do you think of comparing Canada's decor to the U.S. decor? Like who do you like better?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna say the States.
I think so too. Like I mean, obviously Canada's got like the Makar. Like
of course. You know, you probably have the best defenseman in the league.
But then there's
Makar.
a bit of a fall off to the next best defenseman in my opinion. Which who would you even say the second? Like I guess Morrissey. But now that Morrissey's out, it's
probably Parayko.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know.
Like
the U.S. has got like Hughes obviously is their best, and their second best is like it could even be Werenski right now. Just 'cause this guy's up for the Norris like legitimately, and then like
honestly.
we know what McAvoy is like. It's
McAvoy's just been an all-around leader as well, like especially in Boston. Does he have the C now in Boston, or is that Pasternak?
I think it's Pasta.
Maybe, yeah. But I feel like McAvoy would be another. You know, he's another great guy to have on the team, like almost like a Crosby in a way, where he would be a really, really solid leader for your team. And I'm going to be completely honest here with the States. They should have made McAvoy their captain. I'm going to say that
I thought it should have been Quinn Hughes. Like, I definitely, like, we can go into the U.S. team a bit, I guess. Like, I just feel like the U.S. team, they lack so much leadership. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, Canada, I feel like Canada has so many natural leaders. Like, there's probably, like, legitimately, like, 8 guys, 9 guys, 10 guys on that team that could be a captain.
Yeah, like, we have, at least 3 captains? Sid, Davo, and Mac.
And I want to say there's someone D, maybe not. Maybe
not. Trying to think. Who do we have on our defense?
Not.
I've forgotten now.
Because Makar's obviously not a...
Yeah, Makar's an A.
Maybe
I know that.
They have a lot of A's, though, on the
we do. So there's just a lot of leaders on this team, which, of course, is great for someone like Celebrini.
And even Celebrini's probably going to be the Sharks' next captain.
Realistically, no. Who is it right now? Is it Toffoli?
I don't think they have one. I think they're kind of a placeholder for him.
Yeah,
or no, wait. Oh, no, sorry, I'm thinking of the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
They have Foligno as their captain. But
right. I
think the Sharks have no captain right now.
Yeah. So for next year, for sure,
probably
Mac will be captain for sure. Yeah. I could definitely see that. Because like you're saying, I do see how the States lack leadership. You know, if you look at their captains, they got Austin Matthews, a guy who's hasn't been great the last couple years, and we've talked about quite a bit, and has only won 2 playoff series before, and has been someone who's known to be absolutely horrible in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's literally the thing is I was just thinking Matthews has not been good this year. He's hasn't really been shown, like, obviously we don't really know what he's like in the locker room because we're not there, but like he doesn't really seem to be much of a leader on the ice. Like he's not throwing hits. There hasn't really ever been a notable time where he scored a big goal in a big moment. Like obviously he's a great player, but it's just I don't know.
For sure. And then looking at someone, or some people like the Kachuk brothers even, Matthew, I wouldn't say would be a solid captain. Brady's a captain. I mean, he could get the boys fired up, but realistically, like...
That's not always what you need from a captain.
No, it's not.
Sometimes you need that calm presence, and that's why I thought Quinn Hughes would be good.
Yeah, for
Quinn
sure.
Hughes is kind of like that, that quiet, lead by example on the ice.
Quiet, chill guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. I could see, that for Hughes and... Yeah, 100% I could see that, I think. I just think it's really interesting the way that they went with that. I think they could have just done a lot better.
I feel like they put no thought into it. They're just like, Matthews, just take the C. It's like, all right.
I don't really understand the choice behind that as well because, of course, you got JT Miller as well, who is probably in talks for captaincy, which, of course, would have been even worse than Matthews. But
that would have been so funny.
Yeah. Because, of course, he's the captain of the Rangers as well.
Yes.
We all know how their season's going. So, I think that it'll be really interesting to see how that leadership group goes. Because like say, if you're the States and you come into a game say against Sweden or Finland or Canada and you go down too early, what do you do? Because you can't just fall apart and fall back if you're the States. Like you cannot do that.
Mm-hmm.
So you really need a couple guys who are just gonna flip that switch, turn it back around.
And Matthews isn't doing that.
No, Matthews won't be that guy. So, yeah, I think I don't know.
Who do they have on their roster that could do that? Like I could maybe see.
I would
Larkin?
say.
I feel like Larkin's maybe a guy I could see.
Yeah, for sure. I would say if you need to get
the
guys
Tkachuk
back
boys.
going again, I would say Matty Tkachuk will probably be your best bet.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want him as a captain.
I don't know about the Tkachuk brothers as captains. I feel like they're good A guys.
Yeah, no.
Just because like they bring that energy, but
Yeah.
you kind of need that one guy to like really steady the locker room, which I don't know if there's those kind of guys.
Yeah, for sure. I also wanted to ask you on your thoughts of the States goaltending tandem of Hellebuck and Swayman.
Yeah, wait, who's their third string?
Third string is Ottinger.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
this is kind of a similar thing to Canada, where like Hellebuck is not having a great season.
Yeah.
But maybe just because this guy's like the proven guy over the past like eight or nine seasons, like he's been the best U.S. goaltender. They're just like, we're not going to overthink it. And maybe if it comes back to bite them in this game, like who knows? Like then maybe they can switch it up. But Swayman, I think, has kind of deserved it. It's just he's been really good this year, actually. So
yeah, Swayman's been solid. And Ottinger's always kind of been really good, but he's always been the second. And now he's the third string. I don't know. For me, if I had to choose someone to back up Hellebuck right now to those two, personally, I would choose Ottinger just because he is proven.
That's fair.
Over Swayman. I think Swayman's still a great goalie. He's having a great year, but he's just not proven. Like, he hasn't proven, like, in my eyes, he's not proven like Ottinger is.
That's fair,
So,
yeah.
And another thing to look at as well right now is kind of, Hellebuck's struggles in the playoffs. And,
and we kind of saw it maybe in Four Nations.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too. In the final, like, I mean, he was solid, but realistically, I think the States should have won that game.
Oh, me too. Especially in OT, I remember they had way more chances than us before.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
McDavid ended up scoring that game winner.
Yeah, and I mean, that game winner, you really can't put that on Hellebuck. Like, that was just all the defense. You can never leave McDavid open in the slot like that. Yeah. But, like, realistically, like, I don't know. I just feel like Ottinger should have been their number one.
That's fair. I could see them switching it up depending on how Hellebuck looks. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things with goaltenders. It seems like coaches just tend to go with the proven guy rather than like who's actually right now the best. And for Canada, it kind of worked out with
Benner. So maybe it will work for Hellebuck.
So we'll see.
We'll have to see over the next week, of course, as well. And that'll definitely be something I think we discuss when we come back in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, there'll be a lot more to talk about than
there will be so much to talk about.
You want to talk about the Slovakia game then?
Yeah, let's do it. So Slovakia beat Finland.
This is a crazy upset for a first men's game at the Olympics.
Yeah, exactly. Like no one saw that coming.
I was kind of watching in the background, and Slavkovsky, man, this guy's a different beast when he's got that Slovakian flag on his chest. Like, holy cow.
Yeah, the guy scored 2 and got an assist. Like, another level. All I'm saying is looks really, really good for Montreal right about now.
Like, because, like, if you remember, like, back in the 2022 Olympics, he played for Slovakia.
He did, yeah.
And he did really well, and that's what essentially pushed him to being the first overall pick that year.
Yeah.
So, like, this guy just shows up in these big moments, and I'm sure just because, like I said, it's his second Olympics now, and for being such a young guy, it's like that's a lot of really good experience that he already has.
Yeah, and confidence that he can gain as well. Like if you
like this is only McDavid and McCarr's first ever Olympics.
Yeah, this guy's had 2.
Yeah, this is his second, so it's like
and he's what 23, 24 now, maybe 22.
I think he's like 22. Like he's still
a young guy. He's got many 20s more to come. I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I think that will be interesting. The Slovakia goalie is a Minnesota prospect. He stopped 38 of 39, so he did pretty solid as well. Yeah. I didn't see any of that game, but I don't know what
was up with Finland there. Like I said, I was kind of watching the back, so I didn't really fully get into it. But like they got to win that game. Like there's no excuse. Like even though sure they got Barkov out, which is a big blow to them.
Yeah,
so you got your Rantanens, you got your Heiskanens, you got your Granlunds. They got your Sebastian Ahos. Like it just doesn't make sense.
It's just such a
but-
solid team not to really do much with in that
Yeah.
first game. And, Finland's one of those teams where we talked about where they could be up there potentially going for gold.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't know what all happened there, to be completely honest.
This
So
might light a fire under them, though. We'll have to see. 'Cause
Yeah,
maybe
I
it's
feel
like
like
a
it
wake
definitely
up call.
could.
Like, oh, shoot. we
yeah,
gotta-
time to get going here. I
Yeah.
don't know who else is in their group and who else they have to play, but that kind of felt good.
Yeah.
So
No, I mean, I wish I kind of watched more because that did seem like
Yeah.
a fun game. Like
yeah, for sure.
a lot
Kind of underdogs winning.
parodies.
I'm all
like,
here for it.
immediately. So
Yeah,
we'll take
I am
it.
all here for it, unless they're playing Canada.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's something else we've really seen, like just in general with this Olympics as well, is Italy is leading the medal count right now
Are they
for
really?
the whole Olympics.
Wow, there you go.
So that's not something that anyone really expected to
Yeah.
see at all. Like they've just been crushing it this year. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think what are your kind of thoughts for the next week or so of men's hockey at least? Like what are you expecting to happen here?
I'm expecting some crazy games. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm really excited to see kind of how I know we were just talking about Finland's, but I'm really excited to see how Sweden and Finland's kind of not like bounce back because like obviously like Sweden beat
Sweden.
Italy,
Yeah.
but like it was still a bit closer than it should have been, and then obviously Finland lost.
Yeah.
So it's like these are two teams that are like essentially like contending for gold, and
Yeah.
it's essentially gold or nothing for those teams like it is with Canada and the US.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be really interested to see how like these guys do for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah.
Just cuz I feel like those two are always up in the air. Like we kind of always know how Canada and US are going to do for the most part.
Generally, yeah.
And I don't really want to say anything about the US cuz like I just want them to lose, so
Yeah. Yeah, for
if
sure.
we could see some like upsets that'd be cool, but I'm really excited to see how like Sweden and Finland do over this next week.
Yeah, exactly.
And Czechia too.
Yeah, for
Czechia's
sure.
a team that's like definitely respectable. So
Yeah, and I think it is interesting as well because after the last couple of years of Four Nations where they've really had their rise, kind of from a bottom team that would make the playoffs but never really get past the first or second round,
yeah,
to this team that's always challenging for a win. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they do because I don't think their Olympic team is going to live up to expectations. I'm going to say that right now.
which team?
The Czechia Olympic team.
Oh yeah, I think
Just
it definitely is a bit of a shallow team. Like they have the
Yeah.
top guys like Nietzsche and Pasta, but
yeah.
what you kind of see is so we're seeing right now their junior team sort of start to close a skill gap a little bit
Yeah.
with some of the other teams, and you just have to wait a few years for that to catch up to the NHL
Oh, yeah,
level, if
for
that
sure.
makes sense.
Like probably I would say even next Olympics.
Oh yeah,
you
like
could
next
see-
Olympics, Czechia's team will be way better.
Yeah, we'll be back to
So-
the big five for
yeah,
sure.
exactly. Because like
or
it
potentially
always
6.
it makes sense how like you see kind of the change in the junior first because that's
Yeah.
what's upcoming.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why we'll see like Czechia because obviously we'll see Czechia next Olympics really be good because they'll still have Pasta,
Yeah.
they'll still have Natchez, but they'll get guys like Nestor still up there. They'll
Yeah. For
I'm trying to
sure.
think. I'm blanking on some names they got, but they
Yeah,
we know
same.
their team's great
Yeah.
junior level. So
Exactly. And I think another team another Olympic team at least, that could make a step in the next couple of years as well will be Latvia. I mean,
Oh,
they've
for
always
sure.
been decently, they've always been decent here. Like, maybe, kind of, once again, that, that team that makes it in past the group stage, but then just goes out right away.
yeah.
I think they could make a big difference in the next couple of years. Of course, they got guys like Albert Schmitz, who I've
Yeah.
predicted to go, I think, third
Yeah, and
overall
I
in the
think
draft.
he's like a Moritz Sider, so like
Yeah,
I'm pretty high on
exactly.
that guy.
Yeah, and he's playing in this Olympics
Yeah,
as well
which
for
is-
Latvia. But he's going to be even better in 4 years, and they got a whole
Oh,
bunch of
yeah.
other great prospects and talents coming through their program as well, especially like what we saw at World Juniors too. So I
Mhm.
think that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Alrighty. I think we are going to jump now into our second music spotlight, and of course, it's another Three Doors Down song. So this one is personally I think it is probably my favorite Three Doors Down song that Brad wrote. So once again, thank you for everything, Brad, you've done for the music industry, and we will definitely miss you. Here's It's Not My Time on CMRU.ca.
Tune in to CMRU Radio. Student-made shows with enthusiastic hosts.
Playing a huge selection of genres for every music lover in your life.
All music, all week, all day long.
CMRU.ca by students for you.
Alrighty, so we are back. So for the final segment of our show, we have our extremely early NHL playoff bracket
Yeah. We're
predictions.
probably gonna have like 3 or 4 more of these.
Oh
to,
yeah,
like,
no, for sure. In the next couple months,
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
leading up to April, for sure. So how about we start with the Western Conference first round?
Okay.
Give me your matchups and
Okay.
then your winners for that matchup.
Okay, so I'll just go through all my matchups
Yeah.
first. So I think the way we did this was we almost kind of did like predictions again for we think are gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Essentially, because I'm not my like matchups aren't based off like the standings now. Like I did change
right.
it around. Like this is just what I think it's gonna end up being. So we'll go from the Central one versus Wild Card one. So I have the Avs obviously as the
Right.
Central, and I have them playing the Kings.
Yeah.
And then, do you want me to just go through all my matchups first, or do you want me to go like
Let's
matchup
just do
winner?
Let's maybe do matchup and then the winner of who you have winning that one,
Okay.
and then just kind of move through.
Okay, so
like
I have
that.
the Avs winning that, obviously.
Right.
I think the Kings, like right now, they're outside the playoffs. I think they're gonna get into the playoffs, especially with the addition of Panarin.
Yeah.
And I think Seattle's gonna fall out, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
and I just think the Avs, man, like whoever's playing these guys first round doesn't matter. These guys are insane this year. So
yeah, for sure. I'm
just unfortunate for whoever gets to waste 8 days.
Yeah.
Remember when Daryl Sutter said that a few
Oh
years ago?
yeah,
That was
exactly.
awesome. Anyway, I think going on to my Central 2 and my Central 3, the Stars and Wild. I think this is essentially almost a lock of a matchup at this point. Like
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of who's in which position, and I have I have the Stars winning actually.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if
That's an
that's really
interesting
much
pick.
of an upset. I really wanted, like my heart wanted to say Minnesota.
Yeah.
But just looking at the rosters, the Stars are just so deep, man.
They are. Yeah,
Like the
for
Stars,
sure.
like their roster is legitimately insane. Like how much score? Like I think Robertson's legitimately playing their third line right now.
Really.
Like that's how deep. That's
wild.
how deep these guys are. And I mean, the Wild do have the upside. Like they've got obviously Quinn Hughes now, and they've got
Yeah.
Kaprizov, but I think they lack a little bit in the center department, and they might add
Yeah.
too. So it's kind of hard to predict.
Yeah. We'll
Pre-
definitely do another
pre-deadline?
one. Yeah, we'll definitely do another one of these
Yeah.
after the deadline for
Because
sure.
I could see the Wild legitimately going out getting like a Kadri, but
Yeah, for sure.
right now I'll go Stars. Stars winning that series, and then going on to the Pacific Division. So Pacific 1 versus Wild Card 1. I have the Knights against the Mammoth,
Right.
and I think the Knights are gonna take this. Unfortunately, like
Yeah.
I really like the Mammoth. They're like my second team that I'm rooting for this year. I just really like them, but
Yeah.
this is their first time in the playoffs with this core, and the Knights, we know what they are. They've got the playoff pedigree. They're a bit older. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a learning experience for the Mammoths, but I think the Knights will take it.
Yeah.
and
that's an interesting one for sure.
And then for Pacific 2, Pacific 3, I have Oilers Ducks,
Right.
which is different from Oilers Kings we've had for the past 4 years.
Right.
And I unfortunately think the Oilers will win this. The
Right.
Ducks, kind of the same thing with the Knights Mammoth series. The Ducks are a really young team, and it's gonna be a great experience for them. But the Oilers, man, like Draisaitl, McDavid, when they get to the playoffs, they're different animals. So
Yeah.
they're
definitely.
gonna feast on the Ducks a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how my Western is panning out right now.
Yeah, so this is a bit of an interesting one because you've said Seattle is going to fall off a little bit. Have you
I
looked
do.
at mine?
I did. I
Okay.
did look at yours, and we're gonna have
So,
some parity,
yeah,
which is
we'll
good.
get there in just a second. So my first matchup is Kings Avs, exactly the same you have, and I
Mhm.
have the Avs winning that. I think we're gonna have the exact same reasons behind that logic there. I think the Avs have been an absolute powerhouse this year, so I just think they're going to be pretty hard to stop as of
Yeah.
right now. Second matchup, the exact same once again. I have Dallas and Minnesota. Minnesota hosting. They'll be the 2 seed, and I have them winning it. I love this Minnesota team.
That's fair, dude. Like I'm gonna be cheering for them in that series because
Yeah,
I think everyone can agree that's essentially a lock of a series at this point.
Yeah, no.
Even though it's
definitely.
super early, like I'm gonna be cheering for Minnie.
Yeah.
But I can't resist the Stars.
Yeah, no.
right now.
The Stars are a really fun
I'm
team
just
to
really
watch.
high on them. So
Yeah, for sure. I can see that. I think that game will definitely go to 7. Like, if any round 1 here that I have, or maybe one other, potentially, that I have slightly lower down in my
Mhm.
bracket in the West, that will probably be the one. I would say
Yeah.
to go to 7. So this is where I've gone on a bit of a limb here.
Okay.
So wild card 1 will be Utah, and they'll be
Okay.
playing the number 1 seed in the Pacific. I have Seattle.
Wow.
I think they're going to
okay,
go
so
on
you-
an absolute tear at the end of the season.
So you really think Seattle's gonna like pop off here, hey?
I do. I think Seattle's going to go on a tear. Everyone's going to show up, and they're just going to play absolutely incredible, and they're going to get that 1 seed, and they're going to win that series.
I respect it. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that it will be another series that if it does happen, I feel like it would be really close.
Mhm.
I think even if Seattle is the 1 seed and Utah's wild
That
card,
would be a
but
fun series though, because that's
it
like
would be.
kind of two newish
two new teams
I
that a
guess,
lot of
right?
people like as well.
Yeah.
And then, of course, with second and third, second I got Vegas, third I got Edmonton, so Vegas will be hosting that series. I'm going on Vegas. I'm going
Oh,
all in on them.
that-
I think Edmonton is past their window. They'll make the playoffs this year. They're not getting anywhere.
I would love that if
That'd be
Edmonton could be
awesome.
out in the first round. Like, you don't like I love playoff hockey.
Yeah,
Like every year, I'm so excited for it.
yeah,
But I'm literally it gets ruined for me because the Oilers go to the final every
Yeah.
year, and I can never enjoy it.
yeah.
'Cause
No,
I'm
it
like, are
makes
you
it so much
kidding
more
me?
stressful because you're actively
Exactly.
cheering for everyone who's playing the Oilers.
Exactly, and it's so annoying. But if they could finally this year just be out,
Yeah. So maybe let's go to round 2.
sure.
And then round 3, so then we know which team from the West will be in the Stanley Cup, and then we'll go to the East
Sure.
and then go through all that.
Okay.
So let's go to your round 2. So your round 2 matchup.
I kind of
the
changed
top.
mine like legitimately just now.
Yeah.
So I have the Av Stars.
Yeah.
And this is kind of where I have an upset. I have the Stars.
Yeah.
Again, kind of
I
same
like that.
reason.
I like that.
I was like looking at the rosters last night. Originally, I had the Avs winning this,
Yeah.
but I just changed it to the Stars because of just their depth, and I think their decor, they have just forts and decor and goaltending. I think
Yeah.
just more depth, and when it comes to the playoffs, I think the Stars they've kind of been on the cusp,
Yeah.
but they haven't really been able to like push over and really get like super far. And I think this is gonna be the year. And the Avs obviously, we know Makar, we know McKinnon, but the Stars, man, the depth.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Stars. And then
Yeah, fair enough.
this is where I have Knights Oilers, so I have them
Yeah.
in round 2 here, and I have the Knights winning. I think kind of similar reason to why I think the Stars won, just the depth.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. So for me, for my round 2 matchup 1 will be Colorado Minnesota, and I've gone the exact same way that you have. I got an upset. I think Colorado's going down in round 2.
Yeah, like they're really good, obviously,
They
in the regular
are,
season,
yeah.
but it's just like they don't really have insane depth.
They really don't.
Like they really
so-
haven't since they won the cup in 22.
Yeah.
Like they have those number 1 guys, but they just don't have like that depth.
Yeah, exactly. Then my round 2, I have Seattle, Vegas. I'm going to go Vegas just purely off of Seattle doesn't have the playoff experience,
Mhm.
and I just don't think they're going to – I just think they're just going to get so worn down by Vegas and that really, really solid team. So that's just kind of my reasoning. So I would have Minnesota, Vegas. Round
Okay.
3. Who do you have?
So for me, this is where I have Stars Knights,
Yeah.
and I have the Stars. I think the Stars are gonna get over the hump. I think they're gonna make
Yeah.
the finals finally,
Yeah.
and I'd be pretty pumped for that.
Yeah, same, definitely. I got Minnesota, Vegas. I think that this would be a really, really fun
That would be
matchup.
awesome. It'd be so fun.
And I have Minnesota going
That's
to the
awesome.
Stanley Cup Finals.
That'd be so good just for mini hockey. Like,
Yeah.
have they ever gone that far? Like legitimately in their history? Like I don't
Uh,
know if they've ever made a cup final appearance.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
That's not helpful whatsoever. Thanks, Google.
I'm pretty sure they haven't. I think they've maybe
yeah.
because there's
Yeah, they've won 0 Stanley Cups and 0 conference championships.
yeah.
They've won 1 division.
Okay.
2007-08.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be like they're in a good spot though.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of a team where I think maybe this year, just because unfortunately they got to play the Stars. I think.
Yeah,
For
they
me,
could
I could
fall early. It's
but-
either I could see them going either all the way to the cup or going out
Yeah.
1.
But I could see them maybe next year adding in free agency a bit stronger. They got another year Hughes. I could see them maybe next year getting over the hump.
Yeah, no, for sure. So why don't we head over to the East?
Okay.
So round 1, what do you got?
So I got for my Atlantic 1 and wild card 2, I have
Yeah.
Bolts and Columbus. I think
Oh, yeah.
Columbus is actually they've been on a bit of a roll since they hired Rick Bowness, I
Yeah.
believe. They've been really going, so I think they're gonna make the playoffs. I think they're gonna push Boston out, which might be a hot take,
Yeah.
but I don't know. We kind of talked about on last show. Like, we're big Columbus guys.
Yeah,
so
we are.
I'm kind of hoping that'd be cool if they can make the playoffs. But I do think the Bolts will take this
Yeah,
just for obvious reasons. Like, the Bolts got the experience and Columbus just a younger team.
right.
And then going on to Atlantic 2, Atlantic 3, I got Habs Wings, which would be an unbelievable
That'll
series.
be
That'd
an
be so
awesome
cool.
series. That'll be so much fun.
Just two young teams going at it. And I think the Habs would take this.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Habs made the playoffs last year, and they kind of had they definitely pushed Washington.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought-
for sure.
There's definitely points in the series where I thought they could have had it.
Oh, yeah,
and
100%. But it's
now-
just Washington was such a
Yeah.
powerhouse last year.
And just now being they're a year older, I think, especially with the Wings being a new playoff team,
Yeah.
I think I could see them taking that.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I could definitely see that.
And then for my Metro 1 and Wild Card 1, I have Canes Sabres, which would be really interesting. That'd be awesome for the
Yeah.
Sabres. I think the Canes are going to take it, though.
Yeah.
Kind of similar thing with a lot of these younger teams. Usually the first year, they're up
Yeah.
against, like, really good teams, so it's just going to be hard for them to win.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I think the Canes will take that. And then Metro 2, Metro 3, probably the most boring series of the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Pens and Islanders. I think the Pens are going to win.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that. We thought the Islanders were going to be like bottom of the league.
Yeah,
this
we
year.
did. We both predicted
So-
them. Not bottom of their division, but I think second last
Yeah.
or third last or something like that. So
And the Pens, like, they're just really good this
yeah,
year. So
I personally don't see it, but
Yeah.
they are.
they're just good. So I think the Pens will take that one.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so for my round one, I have wildcard 2 as Detroit. I've gone on a bit of a limb, I think, maybe in the Metro, I believe. So that's why I have Detroit wildcard 2. And then, of course, versus Atlantic 1, I have Tampa. I got Tampa winning that. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Tampa's been phenomenal this year. Everything's clicking for them right now. That one's pretty self-explanatory. So for Atlantic 3, I have Buffalo. And then Atlantic 2, I have Montreal. So same series you have. I have Montreal taking that. Kind of, I'm going to give a similar reason. You had Detroit, Montreal, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you did. So it is different, but similar. Like, I'm going to say probably the exact same
Yeah,
reason that
similar
you said. It's
reasoning,
just the Sabres just don't have the playoff experience there just yet, and it will be year one as well for them. And then for wildcard 1, first is Metro 1. I have Boston versus Carolina, and Carolina winning that. Once again, pretty.
Canes are
Pretty,
just
yeah.
good.
The
Like,
Canes
they're-
are just a really, really solid team.
You can usually set them in for essentially
Yeah,
at least a second round appearance, that like minimal.
yeah. For most playoffs in the last couple years, and then for my last matchup, I have Metro 3, which as Washington. So that's kind of my one. I've gone on a bit of a
Yeah, you
limb
think
here.
they're gonna make it? Yeah.
I think they're gonna make a pretty big jump up here and make the playoffs. Like, I think they're gonna make a final big push. I think Thompson's gonna come back from an Olympic gold medal and be absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I think Washington's gonna absolutely kill it. And then Metro 2, I have Pittsburgh. This series would be absolutely incredible.
That'd be awesome.
Crosby versus Ovechkin.
Once again, when was the last time we saw that? Like, I don't even
Oh, it's been a
remember.
while. It has been quite a while.
That'd probably be like a final tilt too between the two, so that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would love to see that because, yeah, realistically, we're probably never going to see that again.
No.
If it doesn't happen this year. So that's one of the reasons why I put Washington up there, I think, is just so you could see that battle. But I do think they will go on a bit of a tear. But I do have Pittsburgh taking that series.
Okay.
Yeah. Who do you got for round 2?
So for round 2, I got the Bolts and the Habs.
Yeah.
And I think Habs take this. This
Yeah,
is a bit of
go
an upset
Habs.
here. Like, the Habs, man, there's just something about their team this year. They just seem to be clicking. Even though, like, they are kind of a younger team, I feel like their kind of mindset and just the way they're coached and the way they play is, like, they know how to win already, if that makes sense. Like, obviously,
yeah, for sure.
like, Suzuki and Caulfield, they played on that team. They were, like, young, but they played on that team when they went to the Cup final in
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah.
So they've played playoff hockey, and then obviously last year, like, Hudson got all that experience, and like Slavkovsky did too.
Yeah.
And I just think with them being young and just the vibes of just when the Canadians are good, I could just see them taking that. So
Yeah, for sure. And even Demidov got experience last
right,
year,
yeah,
too.
yeah,
And
yeah,
of course, Slavkovsky's now got experience at the Olympics, too.
yeah.
And he's been
Like,
great.
these guys know how to play in big games. So
Yeah, exactly.
And then so for then my Metro second round, I have the Canes and Pens, and I think the Canes will take that. I think it's essentially the Canes' division to lose. So
Yeah, exactly.
not really much to say with that. I just think the Canes probably got that.
Yeah, I have, I think, the exact same matchups that you do.
Yeah,
here
you
for the
do.
second round. So Tampa, Montreal. I have Montreal winning, of course. For those who remember, it was probably the third or fourth show we did at the start of last semester. I predicted the Habs would go all the way and win the cup.
Yeah, so he's
And I'm
doubling
still
down. Yeah,
backing
he's
that.
still backing it.
So yeah, give me Montreal for that one. I think it will be a tight series, probably go to 6 or 7 most likely.
Mhm.
But I think the Habs will take it in the end. And then Carolina, Pittsburgh. Once again, same thing you said. It's Carolina's division to lose. They're absolutely dominating this year, and they
Mhm.
will crush that division. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
All right, so then going on for my conference finals here. So
Yeah.
I have Habs Canes, which would be a fun series, but I think
Yeah.
the Canes, I think they will beat the Habs just because
Yeah.
they've been in the conference finals
Right.
so many times the past few years, and I think this is finally the year. Kind of a similar
Yeah.
thing with the Stars, where they finally get over that hump and they get into the finals.
Yeah. Yeah, we could definitely see that. I think it will be. I think that series will be quite good.
It would be so fun. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I personally don't agree though. I got Montreal winning that. So
Yeah, that's just fair. You got to
yeah.
double down. So
I do. Yeah, I mean, I think Carolina's just gonna get swept. I'm not gonna lie. In the conference finals,
Yeah?
they're getting swept.
There you go. You
Yeah.
heard it here first.
Yeah. Who do you got for your Stanley Cup final?
So then for my cup final, I have Stars Canes, and originally I had Avs Canes.
Yeah,
So I
that's a
com-
valid choice.
So I completely switched it up, and I have the Stars Canes, two teams that have kind of been contenders for the past 3 or 4 years that finally get there.
yeah,
And I think the Stars take it. I think this is the year they finally get it done. That depth is going to pay off.
yeah.
And I think the Stars will win the 2026 Stanley Cup as of right now.
Fair enough. My 2026 Stanley Cup winner is the Montreal Canadiens.
There
To
you
shock
go.
of absolutely
Yeah.
no one, I have gone back to the Canadiens to beat Minnesota. I love Minnesota. I love their team. I like
That
I
would
like
be
Montreal
such a
more.
fun cup final, too.
It would be.
Montreal Mini, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be absolutely awesome. I think we're in for a really, really good playoff year. I feel like
We are.
last year was lacking a little bit, maybe.
We're going to get some new teams finally, like
Yeah.
the Utahs, the Sabres,
Yeah,
the
Seattle
Detroits.
winning the division.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, I think we're in for a really, really fun year
Yeah.
of hockey. Yeah, do you have anything else you kind of wanted to add here before we wrap up a little bit early?
No, that's kind of it. It's
Yeah.
not really much gone on, but we've at least had like an hour and a half show.
Yeah, no, that was honestly more than I was expecting, so I'm pretty happy with that, and hopefully our audio has recorded this time.
Hopefully, yes, because last
Um,
week it didn't.
Yeah, because last week it didn't record for our cameras, and then on our station logger backup, half of the audio was just gone from the whole show. So we
Yeah.
were missing about an hour and a half of our audio from that as well, and it was an hour 45 show.
Yeah,
So
brutal.
there wasn't really much point in posting that, unfortunately. So hopefully we'll have it back for this week. And of course there is no show next week as well. We're taking a bit of a break.
Yeah, reading break for us. So.
Yeah, reading break. So we're gonna take what's supposed to be a break from school, but realistically we'll just be working on essays. The
Yeah,
whole
we'll
time,
have
'cause
we'll
that's how
have
that goes.
assignments.
So, yeah. So it'll be nice for us to get a little bit of a break. Unfortunately, I will miss the show next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be back in 2
we'll
weeks'
be
time.
back, and there'll be
as per-
so much more to talk about. 'Cause
Exactly.
We'll
Yeah.
be deep into the Olympics, so we'll have much more.
Yeah, for sure. Keep your eyes tuned to our social media as well. We've been potentially discussing doing some sort of watch parties.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact schedule for the elimination rounds for the men's.
Yeah, well,
I know I'll be gone for women's,
Okay.
so we wouldn't be able to do that together. I mean, if you wanted to do something yourself, you're
Mhm.
more than welcome to. So keep your eye on the socials for that. And yeah, I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. So thank you
Yeah.
for everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you later.
You're listening to CMRU.ca by students for you.
Canada's rich history has been stained by the suffering of our Indigenous communities. 5% of our whole population still lives with the trauma of their ancestors. It is never